All right, the next section is titled Satellite TV Systems, and what we will do in this section is tell you about, in the most simplistic terms, how a satellite TV system works and what are its main components. And so what you see on your screen is a diagram of how the programming, let's say that, choose your channel, HBO, Cinemax, TNT, whatever. Let's say that is the programming source on the left side of your page. TNT broadcasts or beams up its signal to a satellite. The signal comes down to the DPS provider broadcast center. That would be DirecTV. They then transmit that signal to their own satellite, and then that satellite broadcasts to the U.S. TV households. That signal is received by a dish typically mounted on the roof. There's then cabling connecting the dish to a set-top box, the receiver, and then the receiver is connected to the TV, and the TV displays the TV channel. So that's how everything, all of these channels get to a household. What is notable is that the cable companies also get their signal from the programming source via satellite. So everybody ultimately gets that signal from a satellite. All right, let's focus on the components here. We're going to take you through a satellite dish. We're going to talk about receivers, and then and some satellite accessories, and then finally the installation. So again, the topic here is the satellite TV system. Okay, satellite dishes. In your diagram, what you're looking at, there are some orbital slots. But what's notable is that all of those slots are roughly over the equator. And the reason for that is satellites orbit above the equator, which is the only geostationary orbit possible. All North American satellite dishes must be south-facing to receive a signal. The satellites, the satellite TV satellites, all broadcast in the KU band, which is high frequency. Now, what you get with that is a signal that is not affected by sunspots or other atmospheric conditions, and high frequency results in higher power and smaller dish antennas. This is how by going to high power, they were able to cut down on the size of that dish from the C-band area. All right, the satellite signal it's beamed in a shape called a footprint. And the signal is strongest at the center of each footprint's coverage area. And where you are in that footprint determines the size of the dish, even though it's a small dish. Okay, so the components of the satellite dish. Let's move on from the satellite to the satellite dish. The satellite dish collects the radio waves, converts them into an electronic digital signal, and through cabling in the home conducts the signal to the receiver boxes. Okay, so the components of the satellite dish consist of the mount, the reflector, and the LNB. Let's talk about each one of those in order. A mount is just what you see on your screen. It's the thing that is attached to the roof. The reflector is the round part that is most visible. But what's notable is that the reflector is not actually the antenna. The reflector is a concave shape, and what it does is just as its name says, it reflects the signal into that what's called the LNB. The LNB is actually the antenna that couples the signal to electronic amplification. And what you see on your screen are the various types of DirecTV LNBs. The first one is a simple LNB. The next is what's called a three-phase LNB. And then the next slide is the LNB for a slimline, which is a high definition, goes with a high definition dish. All right, so let's move on to the pictures of the actual DirecTV dishes. What you see in your screen initially here is an example of an 18-inch round dish, which is able to pick up a signal from one or two satellites. That's DirecTV's basic dish. It's the most commonly installed dish. The next type is an 18 by 20 inch elliptical or a three-phase. You see that there are 3 LNBs on that that go with that dish. Next up, we have a slimline, which is able to receive up to a signal from up to 5 satellites. That is used to receive a high-definition signal. And then finally, we have an example of a World Direct dish, which is used by DirecTV to receive so that the customer can receive international channels. Just a quick word about Dish Network dishes. You'll be selling to Dish Network customers, taking them to DirecTV, and you'll look up on their roof and you'll see that dish, and you'll just need to identify and be able to distinguish between a DirecTV dish and a Dish Network dish, hence the reason why we give you a few examples. The Dish 500 for Dish Network is their standard dish, similar to the 18-inch round that I just spoke about. And just a few differences between the Dish and DirecTV dish. The most obvious one is the logo is different. And then additionally, the LNB looks a little bit different. The Dish LNB you'll see has a cover on it. The DirecTV LNB does not. And by the way, that makes absolutely no difference to the quality of the signal or signal reception. All right, the next slide shows a Dish 1000.2, and that's what Dish Network uses to receive a high-definition signal. And so its analog on the DirecTV side would be the slimline. And the final